Is Elon Musk's DOGE coming to break up Section 8 funding for investors? We're going to talk about that today. My name is Orlando Hubbard. I'm a real estate analyst. I do this. Pretty much a wholesaler. I do this all day, every day. And my main job is to take a look at markets, take a look at trends, and see what types of houses that I can purchase. But let's take a look at what this article I found on Bigger Pockets. DOGE takes aim at Section 8. Will vouchers lose funding? Could be huge for investors who are Section 8 investors. I've worked with and talked to Section 8 investors, and this is a pretty big deal. DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, has been ripping through the federal government like a chainsaw. We already know all of the cuts that Elon Musk has been coming in and doing to a lot of the federal departments. No department is immune, including the Department of Housing and Urban Development. So HUD, we know that HUD is obviously how HUD works. It's in charge of the Section 8 funding, which, among other duties, administers Section 8 housing vouchers to public housing agencies. In the face of Texas-based Musk's impending chainsaw massacre, the Trump-appointed HUD Secretary Scott Turner put a video saying the DOGE task force at HUD has identified $260 million in cuts and counting. So they're already looking at cutting $260 million worth of funding and things for the HUD department. Now, said Turner, a former NFL and motivational speaker, worked at Trump ally thing. I'm happy to announce the DOGE task force here at HUD will be very detailed and deliberate about every dollar spent. This is not always a bad thing. You know, they're just more so trying to tighten up where lost or wasted money is going. Landlords are on edge, though. Check this out. For investors and developers who lean on the federal government to fund inner city projects and help with rentals, there could be some seismic changes ahead. If you are one of those people that look for opportunity zones, I know some people look for opportunity zones. I worked with an investor that looks for opportunity zones, even outside of opportunity zones. But if you're more of like a Section 8 housing developer, this could be very, very alarming to you and how the funding will work. So for investors and developers who lean on the federal government to fund inner city projects and help with rentals, there could be some seismic changes ahead. In addition to overseeing housing vouchers, HUD provides funding to the homeless. Now, this could definitely be sad. I know here in Austin, we have a very, very huge homeless population, and we do have money that goes towards them. We have a lot of resources here for the homeless, because of HUD. We have the ARC. It's just a lot of mobile loaves and fishes that gets these sorts of vouchers that really, really do help the homeless community. So that could definitely, I think about those types of communities, and that can definitely be something that hurts them, not necessarily from a bottom line perspective, but there's already a homeless issue here in Austin, and that would even further the problems that we see. So it also helps lower income families buy homes and fund the construction and repairs of affordable housing. Very, very big, as you can probably see in my last video. Affordable housing has always been, it really is an issue here in America right now. And it also, the amount of housing that we have is a pretty big deal. We're short on on a housing supply basis. So cuts there could definitely harm that. According to governing.com, 2.3 million low-income families currently using housing vouchers. Public assistance programs have long been in the crosshairs of the Republican Party, and the recent temporary freeze on federal funding has caused problems for housing agencies and landlords. 2.3 million low-income families currently using housing vouchers. So this could affect a huge population, almost 1% of the population. So this is not a light matter. This could definitely be a huge issue that we see for low-income families in America. Let's take a look at this again. So Georgie Bana, General Counsel for the National Association of Housing and Redevelopment Officials, or NARO, stated that since the pause, landlords have been on edge, worried if they will receive money. That's a crack in the trust a little bit between HUD and the housing authorities, and between the housing authorities and landlords. So let's look at this. 50% of HUD's workforce could be laid off. Wow. We know we have been seeing a lot of layoffs and things like that and freezes and all of these things in the government, but 50% of the workforce laid off from HUD. Wow. In February, DOGE announced that he had announced that it had deobligated $1.9 billion in HUD funds. It says were earmarked unnecessarily by the previous administration. So they just want to cut through. They're looking to cut through some stuff, some of the spending that was they deem wasteful, or that was already set aside by the previous administration. But it was wasteful. It wasn't something that was gonna improve the government or improve HUD. If reports are to believe, the Trump administration could lay off as much as 50% of HUD's workforce, disrupting or disqualifying many Section 8 tenants and possibly increasing homelessness. This is not a light matter. If it does, now I do have faith that things won't get at that bad, but this is the possibilities. We're looking at what could possibly happen. Let's see. FHA. Let's scroll down and jump down a little bit more. FHA loans could be affected. One of the easiest ways for fledgling landlords to get on the property ladder has been through FHA loans. If you're an investor, and you've invested in properties before, and you've taken out a loan, the FHA loan is a pretty big loan. A lot of investors I know use FHA loans, or they're familiar with FHA loans from either they know that once they flip a house, that a buyer that is on the other side is going to probably use an FHA loan. So this is huge. So one of the to get on the property that has been through FHA loans, buying a small multifamily building of 2 to 4 units using an FHA loan and allowing 3.5% down payment is an effective way to house hack before rinsing and repeating to build a portfolio. So we know some people house hack with like duplexes and triplexes and that sort of thing. The Office of Housing, which oversees the FHA, could face 44% cut in staff and lose 1,000 of employees. Wow. So FHA loans could slow down because shorter staffing. Hopefully this will cause a more efficient process versus take away from it. But we definitely will see. And so with all of that being said, this is going to be crucial these next few months, these next few years, to see where things in the housing market turns for investors from a Section 8 standpoint. If you see my previous video, you saw with the tariffs from a builder standpoint, America is short on housing, and we know this. Let's see how this affects homelessness going forward, just because people their Section 8 vouchers may be affected, and now they have to move, or they aren't eligible for Section 8 anymore, and now they are either homeless or they have to find something else, find whatever the case may be, whatever the next option is. Let's pray that this is not the outcome, but we will see. That's all I have for today. I just wanted to come on and actually show that. If you like this video, I definitely recommend you go check out the last video I did about Trump and how his tariffs could affect builders. See you next time. Peace.